What's up, everybody? Kicker. You gotta bring your head down so they can see. Anyways, welcome to our live. This is gonna be an update on season 3. We're gonna talk about all kinds of things about our philosophy. Oh, hold on. I got a little light I'm gonna turn on so we look even cooler.
Wow,
look at sweet. And Kicker is here to answer any questions that you might have. You're such a good boy. All right, you can be done. Go ahead. Yeah, so let's dive right into it. Obviously, we have Ashley here and Liam. Liam is a young gentleman. Kicker just farted when he jumped down. Yes, smell that?
smelly.
Yeah.
Woo!
Spicy.
The beauties of owning a dog in a small space, you know? You get to really enjoy the intimacies of your dog farts. But yeah, we just brought Liam on. We met in the surf lineup in Pacific City. Just had this glow about him. He's just a really friendly, kind soul, and super talented filmer and filmmaker, and is a huge addition to the team. So we're like super excited. Check him out. It's at Liam Pickard.
Yeah.
On Instagram. I don't know, is there anything you want to tell us? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh,
We're gonna talk about this.
Well, we'll talk more later, but yeah, I'm just super stoked to be here. This was a huge opportunity. Andrew and Ashley are the best. They're the real deal. And it's just a dream come true, like traveling with them, cruising on the road, making cool content every day. It's awesome.
Yeah, man, it's been great having you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're currently posted up in the Redwood National Forest or State Park Forest in Humboldt County. And it's been really nice. We had some smoke and some fires to be aware of, but the wind has treated us well, and thankfully we only had like one section of the drive that was really smoky, and a spot that we weren't looking to post up in because it would have just been like really just unhealthy to be there, and we weren't trying to do that. And we also lucked out. We got a project with Panasonic. They make the GH5, which is like the video specific camera that I shoot on most of my like cinematic stuff. And we got reached out to and shot a project for them while we were here, which was actually really cool because of the smoke made these awesome like God rays through the trees. I'll be sharing that content here in a week or two, something along those lines. Just need to get it edited and approved. So I've got a list that I keep looking to.
I saw there were questions, but I can't see them.
Oh, you can't see them on your end? Okay. I'm going to do my best to kind of go over some stuff and then jump into questions, But let me see. Live chat. Can you see it if you show the live chat? Well, okay. First off, thank y'all for joining us. We really appreciate it. You are all amazing and make this whole thing possible. I'm broadcasting from my phone since we don't have Wi-Fi in the middle of anywhere. Andrew's live stream calculus class. Thanks, dude. we set the bar high.
He's a real math genius.
I'm a real math.
Off the other day.
Yeah, I was showing off my math skills the other day. I dropped calculus. So yeah. We're in the Redwoods. It's been really nice. We've had a few cool opportunities along the way. Most recently, we did a giveaway / like Patreon activation that did really well. We had a lot of people join our Patreon, which is awesome. We were giving away these shirts for everyone that signed up. But if you're interested, we do have these shirts available. Check out them on Bonfire. Link in the description of the last video we did. That was really cool. Yeah, so we've done 11 episodes of the Tiny Home Adventure every Monday for 11 weeks, which is absolutely insane as far as how much work that takes, how much bandwidth. I mean, we're nonstop, whether it's filming, driving, or editing, we have been nonstop for 11 weeks. So we decided to take a little bit of a mental health break, a little bit of a moment to catch our breath, to regain some sanity, because there are times where it just feels totally pinned and not always healthy. So that's why we're doing a live instead of a full, 10 to 20 minute episode, because those take about 40 hours for me to edit on top of all the other stuff that we're doing. It's been great to spend some more time with Ashley and just have some quality time as a family. What's been the best food? Anything Ashley makes. Ashley, it's like 6 nights a week. Ashley goes like way above and beyond any sort of reason. What's been your favorite thing to make? I'm just gonna grab my coffee here.
Oh, that's a hard one. I think there's this shrimp pad thai recipe that I found that's pretty good that I can make, and that's probably one of my favorites. And then also last night we did the total other end of the spectrum where I made hot dogs and mac and cheese, and that was also a favorite. So I think it just depends.
I live in it really is. It is sorry, I'm responding to a comment here. Someone said it's the mansion of vehicles, and we can have 3-4 people in here for dinner, and it's like really
I
cozy.
mean, we've sat like up to 6 people in here with like camp chairs on the side, and it's been perfect. So it's pretty big.
And I'm trying to kind of figure out how to work this live section. Someone was saying something about, I'm trying to find all these messages. Jeez, it's bad. Apologize for this.
What's happening?
I don't know. Normal. Anyways, we'll come back to these questions in a minute. So let's dive into a little bit more of the philosophy of being on the road, and how we kind of make this work and how we make it special. Honestly, we have met so many really awesome people on the road that are like just so giving and loving and interesting, and are just willing to share some kind of love or some kind of insight with us. Recently we were in Pacific City, met this random guy. He kind of rolled up. He was like just this like short little happy man, and was just like, oh, cool rig, if you're ever in this place, come visit. And for me, I'm really bad with like remembering where people are from. Like on top of, we meet hundreds of people a week usually, and it's like, obviously socially distanced with masks, but it's hard to put the face to the name to their location. And we were like 4 hours away from that spot, and the guy drives up. He's like, hey man, what are you guys doing? You need a place to camp? And we did need a place to camp, and turns out he lived like 2 minutes from the beach. He fed us some wild elk that he had harvested, and it's just really cool. Just like people's kindness, when you're open to receiving it, has been really, really helpful along the way.
He gave us salmon and elk to take with us, and I made some elk chili and some salmon tacos the other night with it. It was so good.
Yeah, it's just cool to like, you just being open to it, like putting out positive energy, as woo as that might sound. It definitely comes back, and just being like friendly and kind to people. I feel like we get our fair share of that like in return. And yeah, we've had a couple like crazy small world experiences. Liam and I were talking about this kid I had met in Kauai when I was 19. I lived out of a backpack for 3 months in Kauai, just hitchhiked around, and I met this guy, Andrew, on the beach, and it was like this, like the scene from Step Brothers where they're like high five, like, did we just become best friends? Yup. And we kind of had this like unceremonious parting of ways. I went for a hike. He had to run into town for something, and we never saw each other again for 12 years. And then the other day he came knocking on the side of the door. He's like, hey man, you remember me? And I'm like, I know the face. Who are you? And I'd just been telling Liam, like, I'd spent tens of hours trying to find this dude on the internet, couldn't find him. And anyways, he comes knocking on the door. Really crazy, really interesting. And then my friend Amos, we just ran by his farm. I had sold him the van years ago, and he took it to Nicaragua over the course of 9 months on this epic surf trip. And now him and his family run this like really beautiful cannabis farm, which was an interesting like industry to see. And they take it like really seriously, and do like a really like ethical job with it, and it was awesome. Also, we met this girl Ellen, who is this Native American young woman, and she shared with us some canned salmon and venison. That was so good. It was so cool. And then we met Ben Moon, who, if you're familiar with Ben Moon, he is a photographer, world famous photographer, and author who wrote the book Denali. He has an extremely close connection with dogs as well, and he wrote a book about that connection and his struggle with colorectal cancer. And we met him at a beach. Actually, we pulled up to this spot that we thought we were gonna camp at because we've heard it's like this really awesome like local spot. And he kicked us out of it just because our rig is so loud. He kind of rolled up a little heavy and was like, "Dude, you're not camping here." And I was like, "Well, all right." I was frustrated. I don't really like authority all that much, so I sent him a message because he was like, "Yeah, I know you from Instagram." He's like, "I'm Ben Moon," and I like knew the name, so I sent him a message saying, "Hey man, that was an awkward first intro. Do you have a surfboard I can borrow for tomorrow?" And he's like, "Yeah, sorry," and explained the situation with COVID, that the spot has been at risk at being closed down. People trashing the place as they do, as I share on my social media all the time. We pick up after ourselves, but we definitely don't want to be part of the problem. So I totally understood it. And then we ended up being friends. He said we could park at his house, surfed a bunch with him, made a bunch of great meals, really cool. Andrew, whose facial hair are you more jealous of, Liam's or Kicker's? Liam's for sure.
Yeah. Mine's a little long right now. I was just thinking that I need to shave. It's actually a lot bit too long, but that's life on the road.
You look like Abe Lincoln from here.
Yeah. Yikes.
And yeah, we're gonna do a tour of Liam's van here in a little bit. I don't know if you cleaned it.
I did actually.
I didn't tell you that we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then we have a big tour video in the works that we already filmed that Liam's editing of the actual vehicle. And then we also are gonna do a video of Ashley's perspective of living on the road, how it all came to be, how we met, all that stuff that I think would be really interesting. I do destroy my enemies when I make them my friends. All right, we're getting some serious chat notes. I'm gonna try and dive into this chat section here. It's not super easy on. Okay, here we go. I'm pulling it down. I'm gonna go through this. Ashley's gonna help. Sorry, my finger's in the way. Let it rip, Kicker. Okay, we're way back.
Plans to come to the East Coast?
Plans on the East Coast. I grew up back in Massachusetts, and I don't know if we'll be driving the Roamer back east, but I would love to get back east probably in the spring sometime. My younger sister just had a baby, which I'm an uncle now, which is crazy. I'm super excited about. I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to turn the super chat thing on. I know I'm eligible for it, but I don't know how to do it. That's really nice of you, Trav man.
Where's Kicker?
Kicker is just on the floor.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, hey, we're back. I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully you guys are still here. Good old technology. So we lost Kicker.
Trying to bring Kicker.
And all right, okay, so we still have the chat. Perfect. You guys are amazing. Ashley, you can manage those because I'm not that smart.
Were you the Will Ferrell of the friendship or the John C. Reilly and Step Brothers?
I don't know. That's a good question. Both of them. I don't know.
We're planning. Are we coming to Florida? We don't have any plans.
No plans for Florida, but maybe someday.
Do you see someday a full-on 2 to 3 year season going to South America?
So that was the plan for this season. The plan was to go from Alaska to South America over the course of 2 years. And unfortunately, I broke my leg right before we left for Alaska, and then COVID happened immediately after.
The build looks excellent. Have you had to do any maintenance on the build? How's it holding up?
We've had random problems here and there as far as the paint cracking, which has been a major issue. You should set it up so it's like live chat.
How do I do that?
Click that, and then live chat. That way we'll see it all. We had our water heater fail almost immediately. We swapped out the motherboard, the chip.
Yeah.
That fixed it, but it's been running pretty good.
I need like something to sit on, so I'm this
You can
level.
sit on my lap if you want.
That's okay. And then our fans stopped working also like 2 weeks into living in here, so now they just have to be like hand cranked open. They can't work on like the remotes. Our fridge does build up some ice all the time.
Yeah, but nothing major. The truck's been pretty good, knock on wood. I mean, it seems like every week there's something else that we have to like fix, but it's been mellow fixes. We're planning on heading down to Baja, Mexico by the end of the month. So we'll probably go and spend a week getting things tuned up and fixed and worked on and all that stuff.
What part of Mass?
I grew up on the North Shore, so we moved around a lot as a kid, but I basically lived in Methuen, Ipswich, Georgetown, Haverhill, Rowley, North Andover, Salisbury, a bunch of different towns, but I went to Triton High School. So basically like the northeast corner of Massachusetts, New Hampshire and the coast. That's where I'm from.
Someone said that we have the whitest teeth. What's our secret? They're not really that white. I don't know.
They're not that white.
I think it's just as light, but we use like Crest White Strips toothpaste, I guess.
I don't know. Ashley whitens her teeth. Mine aren't that white, honestly. I wish they were whiter.
Babe, I don't know how to get the chats back.
Oh boy, you gotta touch over here. Yep.
Okay.
Someone brought us back.
Oh, did you build the MUSEROAMER in a way that you could put it on a newer Super Duty truck?
It is possible that we could remove the roamer, the actual camper, from the truck, but it would be a serious undertaking. I'm not sure it would be possible, but it's definitely designed that way. So it is possible. If the truck did totally die on us, we could swap it. It would require a lot.
Someone said they saw us at the parachuting bridge in Iowa, but I think it was Idaho.
Yes.
It was Idaho, so it was Twin Falls, and yeah, we did the base jumping there from season 3 at the beginning, so that was fun.
That was, I don't know what that was. I'm from India. Can you please tell me, don't miss your family while you're on the road? Yeah. I mean, you gotta go live your life. You gotta go be a bird. Be free.
I miss my family a lot.
She misses her family.
Yeah, I've had a really hard time, like recently, just because I haven't seen my family in almost a year. But that's just because I wanted to go home, but then COVID happened, and my parents are like the at-risk age, so I didn't want to risk traveling home and seeing them. But hopefully we have plans to see my parents in December. We're going on a trip to the BVI, the British Virgin Islands, as long as it doesn't get canceled. So hopefully we'll be seeing them soon, and yeah. It'll be nice to see them.
Yeah, you gotta click over here.
Oh.
It's the 6.0 and we bulletproofed it.
And we do have a bathroom. Is this thing mobile?
It is mobile. Here, I think we missed a bunch of stuff back here.
No, I read those.
You got all these?
Yeah.
We're all caught up? You gotta say hi to Romaru.
I thought you answered his question about I thought you had answered his question.
What was his question?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, the facial hair question.
Oh, yes.
Andrew doesn't even remember what's happening.
So, do you guys want a tour of the rig? Is that what we should transition to?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll start from the inside. Usually start on the outside, but we're going to start on the inside here. So, I like to start at the back corner here. So, what we did is we built his and hers closet. So, this side's mine. This side is Ashley's.
Nice and spacious.
Nice
Andrew's
and
is a mess.
spacious. Mine is kind of a mess, but there's a method to the madness. So, clothes, and then the bottom one here is a shoe drawer, and then we have Ashley's closet here. Then we have a bathroom, which also, let me turn this. We have this bathroom here. I'm gonna maybe do a camera switch here. No.
No, just keep it.
I'm switching it. I'm doing it. All right. We have this bathroom, which also doubles as a drying storage for our wetsuits and backpacks and towels.
And in the winter, it is our snowboard storage place for all of our like wet snowboarding gear. I was the one that insisted on this bathroom because I was like, I can't live in something full time without one, and Andrew didn't want to put one, so now I think he's pretty glad to have it.
Yeah, so someone just asked how many gallons of fresh. We have 66 gallons of fresh, 22 gray, and the toilet is a cassette toilet, so it all goes into this little self-contained tank that gets pulled out a hatch on the back side of the rig here that also houses our outside shower.
My most popular stories I ever did was an explanation of how our toilet works. So.
Ashley, go show them. They do a live demonstration.
So it's basically, if you just picture like a carry-on rolling suitcase, that's what the toilet thing looks like.
All right, we'll move on to the refrigerator here. So we have this nice big Dometic fridge. It is probably 33% 6% larger than the fridge at our last apartment. It has a freezer compartment, nice big cold food storage. Ashley always has it stocked.
I'm actually low right now.
Ashley's, I think your greatest joy in life is honestly making food. So
Probably
like
true.
us going to like a nice grocery store is like Ashley's equivalent of me like going speed flying. She's like, yes, there's no Whole Foods. Woo! I'm like, okay, weirdo.
It's true.
Chill.
It's true.
Then we have food storage above here. We have food storage below. That this slides out. Show them the slide out. That's a big old drawer with
Big
lots of
drawer.
space.
It's a little bit of a mess at the moment. But
Big old food drawer. Yeah, it's totally a mess, but Ashley's got it figured out.
I know where everything is, I swear.
And then we have more storage underneath here, as well as our propane furnace. This is where we keep all Kicker's dog foods and treats. Dinette table. We have Liam, who is, oh, he's showing us, don't show him the secret hatch, bro.
Sorry.
We have, this is where Liam works and hangs out. We have our electrical bay down here. And basically we have 3 175-watt solar panels on the roof that power 4 lithium-ion batteries, which are housed in there. We got those from Lion Energy. They're great. We have a queen-size bed that we shortened by like 3 inches just so we could have more storage at the foot of our bed. It's a mess up there right now. But we have dirty clothes storage in one size and tripods, camera gear on this side of that foot locker. I've got my...
Wait, you forgot the most important
Oh,
part.
show. Hit them.
Boom.
So we have
Through.
a pass through to the truck here. Really beautiful thing that we actually use quite a bit, and an insulating plug. So the camper itself is really well insulated, and the truck is not so much. So keeps the space warm or cool, whatever we're hoping for. And I've got my edit bay with this sweet setup. If you can't tell, this light is held on by a rubber band and hung off of a tripod. And I'm just holding a weird little tripod thing. Extra monitor, more charging stuff, desk space, 3-burner stove, oven, water heater down low, sink that's full of dishes, don't mind that. These beautiful awning style windows that also have this really cool slide up shade and slide down screen, and a banana hammock our friend Jade made for us. Did I miss anything in here?
No.
Any final words before I take it outside?
Maybe check questions in here before you.
Okay, I'm gonna check some questions.
Good call.
How many gallons of fresh? Answered that one. How often do you guys go to the grocery stores between stops? A week and a half?
We try to do like a week and a half, just because a lot of times we're in remote areas and we can't really go to the grocery store. So we try to plan ahead and stock up. Especially with COVID right now, we're trying to like make stops in towns very minimal.
How's the fiberglass holding up? WeBoost internet. So right now it's like what, 9:20 a.m. here in California. The fiberglass is holding up okay, and the WeBoost was a question. WeBoost has actually been really good. You need to have the phone extremely close to it to work, and we also just got this new Wi-Fi solution.
It is a game changer, but
Yeah.
not when you're in the dead zone like we are now.
Where it's sort of, it doesn't have like total coverage, but it's unlimited data, unlimited bandwidth, and it has really changed the game for us. We'll put a link in the description of this. It's called like the Pepwave Mini Link
and
something.
It's from Mobile Satellite Technologies, and it's been great just because we upload so much stuff every month, and our cell phone plans are throttled, and this thing is unthrottled, so you can just upload as much as you want. It's been great.
Nice.
Andrew can stop stealing my my internet now off my phone.
Do you want to walk with me for the tour, Ash?
I suppose.
There's some shoes on. So we're just outside. Oh, there's the Kicker dog. He's hanging. He's got my hat. Yeah, you little sneaker. Okay. He wants to bring the hat to you guys. There's Kicker. You can see it's a smoky, crazy day out here in the redwoods. We've got Brandon's rig. He's parked. He's got all the fancy toys. Ash, I'm gonna hand you the camera while I do the exterior tour.
Oh, you don't think I can do the exterior?
I think you can, but I'm just know a little bit more about what the truck is. stand back. So the truck is a 2004 Ford F550. We bought it. It was just like this work truck. It was 4-wheel drive, which is really nice. And basically we pulled the bed off of it, sold it, built the box from the ground up. We built the walls, which are 1/2-inch HDO, 2-inch foam board, 1/2-inch HDO, attached and through bolted to an internal steel frame. We built it all in my friend Josh's garage. We have a big buck stop bumper with Baja Design lights. Big thanks to Baja Designs and Buck Stop for helping us out. And a 16.5 thousand pound winch with a synthetic cable. And it's got the 6.0 engine, which we did pay to bulletproof.
And on that note, someone asked, what is the fuel consumption?
About 10 miles to the gallon, plus or minus 2, depending on where we're going. When we got the truck, it was a dually and just a work truck, so we lifted it and converted it from a dually to a single with this buck stop kit. Basically, it's just offset wheels that get us the proper geometry, get us the wheels in line the way that we want. The kit came with the lift, suspension, wheels, tires, fender flares, front bumper, and that's it.
How's it ride on the highway?
If we're keeping it around 60, 65, it rides great. Anything over that is a little too much. Got surfboard, lawn chair set up.
Babe, you're not gonna just brush over your brand new surfboard? This thing's his
So-
baby.
So, I'm really trying to learn how to surf. I've never owned a surfboard that cost more than 60 bucks, I think. I've always bought a beater board, and I finally did a ton of research. I've been like obsessed with surfing. My goal for this trip is to get barreled. I'm not a very good surfer, so that's like my next big progression, hopefully within the things that I want to do. And I need a bag for it, so right now it's just hiding underneath the rig. It's not where it should be.
Someone said, will you invest in Starlink for internet going back?
I think it's a great idea as long as it doesn't mess up the stars at night, but it would be pretty nice to have something like that.
And then someone else said, did you already come through Alaska?
On season 2, we went up to Alaska when Kicker was just a wee lad, and oh, yes. When Kicker was just a puppy, we went up to Alaska. The plan for this season was to go up to Alaska, but I broke my leg literally 2 weeks before we were supposed to leave. We had just finished this, and I broke my leg, and then COVID happened, so now we're just kind of sticking to going with the flow. Our plan was to be heading to South America, but right now we're heading to Baja, which is still pretty rad, and I think we're having as good of a time as we would otherwise. You know, it's still a dream, it's still on the list, but probably for another trip. Maybe another vehicle, not sure. And then we have these lock boxes underneath where we keep tools, fluids, base camp stuff, whatever we need, quick and handy. These. This one keeps our stairs. The stairs fold up like so. Pretty rad. And we get stuff in there. But then we've got big back boxes. These things are great. We keep our propane tanks, firewood, grill, whatever in there. Surfboard, kiteboard holder. Up on the roof we have our spare tire. We've got a ski box, solar panels, some roof penetrations for exhausting the refrigerator, stuff like that. We also have these exterior lights in the back. There's 4 of them, 2 low, 2 high. So when we're hanging out at base camp, we need to turn on some area lighting. Those can turn on with a switch as well as the side ones. Or if we throw it in reverse, the reverse lights fire these, or the reverse drive fires these lights up, which is great.
What's our total weight?
Total weight is about 14,000 pounds, fully loaded, wetsuits, obviously. This is the hatch for our cassette toilet. Hey-ya. This is the cassette toilet, just slides out. You can dump it in any pit toilet or any conventional toilet. Also, we have an external shower here so we can rinse it off. If we're getting out surfing, we can rinse off.
Rinse off this poop dog.
Rinse off this stinky poop dog. And yeah. Then we've got 2 diesel tanks. We have about 40 gallons of diesel, more fluid and whatever storage over there. The Cockpit of the truck's pretty basic. We have we pulled the back seat out, so Kicker basically has that whole back seat to himself, and then well, half of it, the other half is kiteboarding and paragliding gear and t-shirts.
Poop negative merch line. When is that coming out?
Poop negative merch line.
Littering is for losers.
Yeah, we're seriously thinking about building a shirt like that. If people would be interested, let me know, drop a comment. We would want to be able to sell probably at least 50 of them if we're gonna bring them to print, just the amount of effort it takes. And if we print 50, they'll be a lot higher quality through the service that we use. So if we get interest from 50 people for like a hashtag poop negative or littering is for losers shirt, let us know. We'd love to put those together. I think that'd be really cool, and maybe give one away for every person that picks up a bag of trash or something.
What axles are you running?
The ones that came on the F550, they're pretty burly. I don't have like a Dana. We don't have locking differentials or anything, but pretty heavy duty axles that come on the F550. So we're still within the capacity of the truck. It's good. And then I also forgot we got this sweet Cannondale bike here on a 1-up bike rack that we've mounted vertically. They recommend adding this little keeper cable, so in case the bottom drops out, you don't lose all your gear. We also have it locked to the truck, so we couldn't lose it. But let's bring the whole family back inside. Oh, let's do Liam's rig. Sorry, pardon me. Liam.
How hard is it to learn kiteboarding?
Ask Ashley.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's flip this around. Ashley, how hard is it to learn kiteboarding?
So it's pretty difficult. It's honestly one of the most humbling things Andrew's ever tried to teach me to do. But I love it. It's awesome. I think the important thing is like learning to fly the kite, because at first I wasn't very confident flying the kite, and it was actually pretty hard. Like if I'd crash the kite in the water, I would panic, and you can't do that. But this year I finally feel like I've gotten the hang of it a little bit. I'm still learning. I can get up on the left side a bit, still working on the right, but that's my kiteboard, that's my baby, so I'm pretty excited to keep getting better at it.
All right, Liam, you're up, bud. We're gonna do Liam's tour, and then I'll jump back to these questions. So Liam, what you got here?
Yeah, so I have a 1995 Dodge van, appropriately named Chester. And so it was originally built out by Sportsmobile, and then I bought it off Craigslist for super cheap. And most important part is I put surf racks up on the top, solar panels up on the top. But I'll show you the inside. That's kind of, the outside needs some work. That might be next summer's project. But the inside, so I basically stripped the whole interior and then used the same like body framework that Sportsmobile left. So refinished all these cabinets, added some waterproof hardwood floors, these rubber floorings here just to throw wetsuits, wet things, whatever. You can pop up inside if you want. Basically, everything I need. It's got, you know, it had like bench seats in the back, and I took those out, put in this nice cozy bed that also acts as camera storage for those photographers, filmmakers out there. Sony A7R4, my go-to camera. And got a fridge, propane stove, sink, charging for Scott out there and anyone else asking about the Abe Lincoln hair. So I'm actually charging my razor right now. So don't worry, everyone. Things will be taken care of in short time.
Okay,
but
nice.
Anyway, got the drone batteries charging. Closet with clothes, all sorts of fun stuff. Jackets, socks, underwear. This is like day-to-day use. Chair, hammock, bags, fun stuff like that. Backpack and camping gear in the back, and camera storage. That's kind of the quick tour.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a super rad vehicle.
Love it. I'm gonna get a far away shot, and then we'll jump and start answering some questions. So yeah, Chester, this is Liam's noble steed. We'll be all cruising down to Baja together, which I'm super excited about. Gonna be a pretty wild next couple months. Liam has been crushing it as far as helping bring our production value to the next level, capturing more moments with Ashley and I, because it is hard to be on the road filming doing everything and also like take the time to like film Ashley and I like together. It's usually one or the other holding the camera. So and also Liam's just like a huge addition to like the good positive vibes that we try to create and produce and share with y'all. So I'm gonna jump back inside so we can answer these questions with the help of my lovely assistant Ashley, because I don't read so good. And I don't know what Kicker's doing. Oh, Brandon's awake. Hey Brandon, do you want to give us a quick tour of your rig? So this is Brandon. He's a travel nurse. He lives out of this beautiful truck and he's a super good dude. So we've got a 2017 F350 with a truck camper on top. This is the Laredo SC by Northstar. This is a newer truck camper. Picked it up over the past year, pretty much as soon as quarantine kicked off, so I could work and live in it at the same time. We've got the Sea-Doo Spark Tricks and KTM 350 that goes on board, so we can conquer everything by land and sea. And yeah, that's kind of the rig. I've got a roof box up top with all the ski gear, solar panel up top, and yeah, just ready to rock and roll. Cool. And who's this? This is Holtman. Holtman. So for those of you who don't know, I'm actually kind of afraid of cats and super allergic to them, but Holt's actually really cool. We've come to be friends. I still don't trust him. He's a cat. But hi Holt. All right, we're gonna jump back to answering questions in the roamer in a more controlled space, so I'm not so shaky. Damn, look at that booty. All right. So I'm gonna flip this back around. All right. What can we answer for you? How's Ashley's toe?
Oh, fully grown back almost. Thank you for asking. It's looking, I mean, I can bring it on the screen if you want.
No, no one wants to actually see it.
But no, it's like pretty much back to normal.
Okay, we're going back here. Ashley, read the questions and we'll help answer.
Oh my Lanta. Did you solve the issue of the edges of the roamer box cracking? Sorry if I missed it already.
Haven't solved the issue yet. We're just letting it crack, and we're gonna refinish it when we get back from Baja, when we hopefully have a little bit more money. Yeah, it's gonna be a really expensive, time-consuming fix. So we need to wait on bandwidth and funds to come through for that to happen.
Since you've had multiple rigs, is bigger better, or would you prefer a smaller rig?
I really like the roamer. For a long-term living solution, it's super cozy.
Yeah.
It's not super easy to drive. Long distances are challenging. It's not quite as off-road capable as I had imagined and dreamed, but it's still, as far as living comfortably full-time, it's awesome. We love it.
I couldn't imagine living in like a van and having to bend over while cooking, since cooking is such a big joy for me. I couldn't imagine having to like be in such a cramped space. And also I know a lot of vans have like where you have to like make your bed every day. And that just doesn't sound great to me. We have so much going on that I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, we make our bed every day, but we don't have to like build the bed.
Right. I don't want to build a bed.
So we got lots of great questions. Awesome.
So
We're
many.
super excited.
Where did you learn to paraglide?
I learned to paraglide at Point of the Mountain in Draper, Utah. It's a world-class learning area that people from all over the world come to. It's good conditions over 300 days of the year. You can camp right at the park. World-class instructors. Point of the Mountain, Utah, I learned through Cloud9, which is a school there. You can find them at paragliding.com. Tell them I sent you. They're great. And it's learning to paraglide is a never-ending learning curve. I'm always learning, always looking for mentors, always looking for advice, always trying to learn, because I'll perpetually be a novice in that sport.
We haven't met down to Mob, have we?
We've talked to them a bunch.
Yeah.
They're awesome, but we're yet to link up. We had some plans, but with COVID and everything, it just didn't happen.
So far, where is your favorite place to kiteboard or glide?
Alaska, probably.
For me, my favorite place that I've tried to was like the Pistol River.
Oh, that was your favorite. Cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've only tried there and the Hood River event site, and the Hood River event site is where I cut my toe, and there's always so many people. So this other place was literally just me in the water, and it was great. Did you ever consider a flatbed and a removable living portion?
Totally. And I would probably consider it for the next rig. You do lose a couple inches as far as your height, but it would have probably been, I don't know, a comparable setup to this. I would consider a flatbed for sure.
Liam, The van is a hippie van down by the river. And what's your shower setup? Is he out there?
Liam's not here.
Liam's not here. But
Sorry, I'm
oh
here.
my goodness, he just scraped his ankle up the stairs.
what is your shower setup, Liam?
Careful
So
to shake it too much.
I have a solar shower that I built on the back, and I use it.
Why are you so out of breath? We're like 3 steps away,
I
man.
was just playing. Oh my gosh, I'm playing kicker. Kicker's in a mood right now, guys.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was he being funny?
We were wrestling. Yeah.
Nice, sweet.
Okay,
Awesome.
I'm back. Yeah, so I built this solar shower on the back, and it doesn't work as well as I'd hoped. Like I put a Schrader valve on it to pressurize it, and that works great. It just doesn't get as hot as I'd hoped. Then I can also take my sink faucet, like it's on an extendable hose. I don't really know what you call those. Put that out the window and shower. But honestly, most of the time, we're in places where I can either like rinse off in a river or lake, or there's showers next to the surf where people rinse off their wetsuits. And
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're okay and realize that you don't have to shower every day, like
You can
you're
only
fine.
get so dirty.
Yeah,
You
that's
reach
true.
a point where like you plateau, like many things in life. You just can only be so dirty.
And brushing your teeth every day makes a big difference. Ashley and I
That
talked
is
about
true.
this. Yeah.
Brushing your teeth multiple times a day
Mhm.
helps.
Yeah.
The next question was, what are the 3 most important things to look for when buying a van or adventure vehicle to live in?
I'm gonna let Liam handle this one since he's the most recent to buying one.
Yeah, so I spent years looking around for vehicles, and I was planning. So I graduated from college back in December, and I didn't want to pay rent, and I've been wanting to live in a van since I was 16. So it just was like the feasible next step. And I spent like hours researching things, looking around, and I was planning on taking out a loan to pay for like a Ram ProMaster cargo van that I could strip and rebuild myself. But I ended up finding the van that I have now for what I could afford without taking out a loan. And honestly, I think that is like the most important thing. Just get what you can afford, because you could literally live in anything if you're like happy with it, just what suits your adventure. Like I've taken road trips in my Volkswagen Jetta and had the best time.
So I second exactly what he's saying. You know, you see these big lavish rigs, the MUSEROAMER being one of the biggest and most lavish rigs out there. And I look back on when I was living out of my Volkswagen Golf. I used to live out of a hatchback Volkswagen Golf that I bought for $240. And I look back in those times and I was broke as hell. I had 0 responsibilities. And I wonder if I was happier then or if I'm happier now. And things have obviously elevated and changed for the better, and things are better. But it's really a mindset thing, and you can make any budget work. Like a $200 budget, I got lucky and got a car that ran for $240, and it brought me from Park City back to Massachusetts, back to Park City, Utah, and then some. And I lived out of the back seats for over 3 months, and it was great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
anything, you can make literally anything work. It's just
Yeah.
if there's a will, there's a way. And one more thing, with the van life kind of boom taking off, if you buy something cheaper like I did and you put some elbow grease and work into it, I guarantee you can flip a profit, move up to something bigger if that's your plan. So
Yeah, one thing to consider is even though it's a very small space, you're like, oh, it's a van, it'll take me a week to rebuild. Triple your timeline and
Yes.
triple your budget, because it takes
And
way more.
On that note, the next question was, what were your backgrounds to be able to do the van build outs? Like, what helped you do that?
So I had done construction previous to that. I used to do green remodels. So we'd make homes more energy efficient, more green, and anything from doing solar to geothermal to full remodels. So I had some experience, but a lot of it is YouTube University. Just YouTubing things. I also had my friend Josh, whose shop I worked out of, who I worked for when I did construction. So he helped me out quite a bit. And then Liam?
yeah, so my dad and my grandpa both have built houses and stuff growing up, so I had them to rely on sort of. But honestly, just since I was little, I've been like super interested in building things. So everything around the house I was always building. So obviously what I built is nowhere near what this is, but it definitely took some technical skills. And YouTube University was huge. That's how I learned all the like electrical stuff. And the amount of mistakes I made were a lot. The amount of fuses I blew. amount of things that kind of ruined along the way, but that's but that's how you learn. And I just was like super passionate about it and wanted to do it really, really bad, and so that's what
Nice.
The next question was, when are you leaving for Baja? And we're on our way south now. So
Yeah, we're doing it. We're leaving for Baja.
We're in Northern California now, and we're going to make our way over the next couple weeks down to San Diego and then cross the border hopefully around like October 20th down, and then keep going down to Baja. And we're planning on being there for like 2 months or more. You never know.
It depends on what's going on in the world, what the ski season's like. There's a lot of like weird protocols going on with COVID in the ski season, so if we hear it's just impossible to ski or like really stressful, then and Baja's amazing, we'll just probably hang out in Baja. That's obviously dependent on funds and the world and everything that's going on, but we're working super hard to keep the wheels turning, and thankfully with everybody's support, everyone that's watching here has helped make that possible. So thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate you. So
the next question was, and I'm gonna try to answer this one because I know.
Get it.
Would you change anything on the roamer? And I think our answer is yes. We would want to do next time radiant floor heating. We would want to hook it up to the diesel so that we can run it off of the diesel that's already in the truck anyway. Right now our heating is with a propane furnace, and it would just be better for our water tanks that are in the floor to be able to keep them warm in the winter and be able to be in colder temperatures like Andrew likes to be, if we could have the radiant floor heating to keep those water tanks at the right temperature. Because right now if we get below like 10 degrees, we kind of have to open all of our cupboards and like make sure the furnace is on so that the air is trying to like circulate around the pipes and the water tanks. So yeah, I think that's kind of the only thing that we would change though.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe like if we could get a fiberglass shell instead of the one that we built because of the cracking, but it's fine.
Carbon fiber. It's gonna be the next one. Carbon fiber on an electric truck. Someone deleted their message. Now I'm curious.
Let's see. What was your favorite part of the build?
Finishing it. No, the Shisugi Ban. So the ceiling here, I got to work with a propane torch and burn the ceiling and wire brush it and stain it. I love wood grain, and I also love fire. So getting to mess around with like a big propane torch and like make this wood grain come to life and pop is definitely my favorite. If I could make a career out of just making Shisugi Ban, I'd probably do it. I don't know. Maybe when I retire, I'm gonna be a Shisugi Ban artist.
The next question was, how's the moisture under the bed situation?
Awesome.
It's been really good.
So I'm going to show you guys. Basically, we're having a bunch of moisture issues with our mattress being just on the wood. So we got this hypervent stuff, which is this weird 3D printed mat that's supposed to help air circulate through. And then we got the Froley system, which are these weird little... sorry, our fire alarm is under the mattress because it goes off, and when it does, we just chuck it under there. But these little springs are super helpful, plenty of airflow. Our mattress has been dry since we implemented that.
And they're nice because you can like adjust the firmness of the springs. So on my side, I wanted to have like lumbar support, and I adjusted like this little attachment that you can do that they give you, and it's been really, really nice.
So that's the Froley system. Check it out if you're looking for some more airflow and a little bit more comfort out of your mattress. It's a great solution. It's worked really well for us.
What is our favorite place so far and why?
It's hard. It's the people make the difference and the experiences make the difference as far as places go. I really love Alaska because it was a dream of mine. Big mountains, was able to scare the hell out of myself every day. So Alaska for me, but I mean, on this trip, Pacific City has been great. Oregon coast, everywhere. The Olympic Peninsula.
The Oregon coast probably has been my favorite so far on this trip. Just, I don't know, like being able to surf for me and getting in the water, and it's just so beautiful and relaxing. Somebody said, advice for dreaming up a travel trailer of my own, open to reviewing, collaborating on building concepts.
It's such a personal thing. I mean, there's so many awesome examples out there. I would just try to find something that works for you within your budget, and just expect it to take longer. Be realistic. You know, I have some college kids reaching out, hey, I just graduated from college, I want to do what you do. You think I could do it on like a $30,000 budget? And it's like, you could, but you're not going to be happy for 2 years of working your butt off. So maybe think about a truck camper solution. Like my first big rig was a truck camper. So I've lived in a Volkswagen Golf, an Astro van that I bought for like $2,000, a truck camper that I bought for $500. That was season 1. The 4x4 van for season 2, and now this. And the truck camper was probably the best of all the worlds as far as ease of entry. Like the barrier to entry isn't super high. You know, I got lucky. I found one for $500 that was in pretty damn good shape. I was able to walk, stand, live, have guests over, cook, had a refrigerator, all those things. So it's like, yeah, that would be my like number one go-to advice for like people with like a modest budget is a truck camper, but also the tow behinds are great. That way you can drop it really easily and hit the road.
And I will say it sounds kind of girly, but I've talked to a lot of people that do builds like this, and like Pinterest is kind of your best friend to get ideas for the interior because there's so many options on there, and you can kind of like create a board of what you like and then build your own ideas off of that.
Totally.
So, that's what I've. Someone asked Liam, what was your lifestyle like before you met us?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, as far as like adventure sports go, I grew up near Bend, Oregon. I was like, I don't know, 15 minutes from Smith Rock, and I really had like a playground of a backyard. And so I grew up with a ton of mountain biking and a ton of skate skiing and a ton of like running, a ton of pretty much you name it. And I did it. We had this awesome garage full of fun toys. And so I've always wanted to get into like the adventure sports world as far as photography goes, because before I'd met these guys, I was running what at the time was a pretty successful freelance photography business, but I didn't have like any in with adventure sports. And so I was like rolling around in my van just trying to make it work as a freelance artist freshly out of college, which is a really tough task. And then I met Andrew in the surf lineup, which surfing is a huge passion of mine. I'm not very good, but it's one of those things I took up on my own a couple years ago. And so honestly, like my life wasn't like, as far as the things I do and things I'm into, it wasn't all that different, but it's just like super elevated now. So yeah, Andrew and Ashley helped that a ton.
Yeah, I mean, I throw Ashley into a lot of uncomfortable situations, and I'm pretty excited to do the same to young Liam here.
I'm excited to throw Liam in
Yeah,
the situations. I get to flip it on someone else.
Yeah, you don't know what you're in for, man. We're about to really, things are gonna get crazy.
Another person's question was, I guess for everybody, but how did you get into photography and like get so good at it?
I bought a GoPro and started to use it. And with the GoPro, when I first bought it, it didn't have a screen on the back, so it was just a ton of trial and error. And then from there, you know, editing is a huge part of it. So that's a never-ending progression. And that's, I think, one of the things I love most about photography and videography is that it's a never-ending progression. The technology is always evolving. There's so many different disciplines, whether it's action sports, portrait, landscape, fashion, you name it. You can dive into any niche or be a generalist and never know it all. So for me, lots and lots of YouTube, a couple friends that were mentors, and yeah, I'm still learning every day. I mean, every time I do an edit, I'm always on YouTube like, how do I do this? What's this hotkey? Like, how do I color grade this, or how can I get the best performance out of my camera, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah. Actually, similar to Andrew at the beginning, when I was, I don't know, probably 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, I bought a GoPro. And I started doing these like burst mode photos of people kicking soccer balls. And I had like a little iPad. It was probably the original iPad at the time or something.
Dude, you're a high-tech little 10-year-old out there.
Dude, I know. And anyway, I would like do these like super janky like cut arounds and stitch together like a montage of someone running by and kicking a soccer ball.
Nice.
I got super into it. But I grew up in an area that like didn't really foster creativity. And so I kind of put that to the side and started pursuing like more practical things. And then when I got to college, I took photography back up, and I had two really big mentors, Jeff Kennel and Tim Sofranco. They're both super rad photographers that kind of made me realize that I could make it as a career. And I started getting more and more connections and just, you know, working my butt off. And eventually, you know, I didn't have any formal training. I just like learned from other people, watching other people, tons of YouTube. Yeah, just trying to be creative in every possible way.
There's an immense amount of knowledge that can be learned for free on the internet within any realm or sphere of interest that you might have. So, not saying not to go to college, because there are definitely skills that I feel like I lack that college would help. But if you're like me, I didn't have any like family backing or financial stability or anything like that, and it seemed like a big risk to put myself into that much debt. I've just been stuck learning from YouTube and from people, and I feel like I have a really good baseline foundational education, as far as just like being really interested in things and wanting to learn and grow and progress. So, not advice not to go to school. You should go to school if you can. I'd be better at what I do if I did go to school, but I also have learned a lot, enough, and I'm still learning every day just based on what's available for free.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. You
I
go
was
ahead.
just say, I'm gonna add one more thing to that, because I did go to school, but not for photography, and so I've actually had a lot of people ask me, like, if college was worth it in a way, I guess. And for me, it was like 100% worth it. Not so much for my photography career, but college allowed me to gain the connections and whatnot to get to where I am now, even though I didn't learn any photography specific things. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of ways to like get to where you want to be. It's just everyone's path's different, and you know, figure out what works best for you.
The next question was, do we have AC? I'm like trying to
I know.
sit. It's really hard. But we do have
Just sit here.
You can sit on the edge
here.
here.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we've got
So,
the family.
we do have AC, but we can only use it right now if we are plugged in, like at an RV park or shore power. Because we don't have a generator yet. That's the other way we could run it. We honestly haven't found that we needed it. At this point, we have like 2 fans that we can run with the windows open and stay pretty cool. We might need the AC more in Baja, but we'll find out. And then the next question was, how
you're
long
so
do we
good at this.
plan to live on the road? And then also on that same note, like what's been the biggest struggle living on the road for both you and I?
We plan on living on the road indefinitely, and the biggest struggle living on the road is Ashley. No, yeah, we're on the road indefinitely. At least a year from now, hopefully. Maybe looking to sell the Roamer in a year from now. But the biggest struggle,
I have mine if you need time to think.
yeah, go for it. Hit it.
So my like surface level biggest struggle would be probably like not showering often, just because
That's what I'm saying.
just because I like hot showers and I'm used to being able to shower like every day, especially if I'm like out doing something and like getting sweaty. But so it's been hard to adjust to like not showering very often, but now I really appreciate them when I do get them. But on a more like deeper note, the biggest struggle I think for me is like never knowing where I'm gonna be, because I really want to see my friends and my family, but it's hard because we don't know where we're gonna be like 2 days in advance of something. So I can't be like, hey, like meet us out here, we'll be here these days for sure, because we never really know. And I think for me it's just like missing my friends and family and not being able to like bring them out to see me or fly out to see them. That's mine. What's yours?
My biggest struggle. Sorry, I was reading a thing. My biggest struggle. I don't know. I like this lifestyle. I'm used to it. I've done it off and on for 13 years.
Yeah, I'll say this is my first time living on the road, so I feel like I probably feel it more than Andrew does.
Yeah, so I mean, there are struggles, there are compromises, there's lack of comfort, but there's also an increased freedom. Probably my biggest struggle is trying to make those plans, trying to accommodate like Ashley wanting to know where we're gonna be in 3 weeks, and like I think living on the road, you kind of need to go with the flow. You need to like have these windows and these opportunities that are going to arise, and these people that you're going to meet, and these situations that are out of your control that you could never plan for, that are some of the most meaningful things that you could experience on the road. And if you're like I have to be here at this time. It also creates this rushed feeling and this anxiety. And so trying to balance me wanting to like go with the flow and be all woo woo and serendipitous about things, and then Ashley being like, well, I need to like be here for an appointment, and I hate appointments. I hate making plans.
I can't get him to like get an eye appointment because he can't schedule down one day for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like being a type A person, like it's taught me a lot about like going with the flow and like relaxing and staying calm, because I've always had to have like everything planned out like days, weeks, months in advance, and then now it's kind of taught me to like take a chill pill and not need to do that so much.
So just balancing those two philosophies of living on the road and how it all works. That's maybe the biggest struggle for me. Like compromising with Ashley, I've lived on the road alone previously, so it's just like I do whatever I want whenever I want, and with Ashley I have to take her into consideration, which I'm trying to get better at.
WeBoost versus a mobile hotspot like SkyRoam, or is it easier to just hotspot your phone?
Well, the thing is, WeBoost and Hotspot work well together because the WeBoost boosts the cellular signal, and the cell phone creates that Wi-Fi hotspot. So they work really well together. I haven't tried SkyRoam, but we do have this Wi-Fi, the cell phone signal router that creates Wi-Fi that we're really excited about.
It's a PepWave router. There's 2 slots for SIM cards. So right now it comes with like a T-Mobile SIM card, but you could add another one as well. And it actually I think kind of uses the WeBoost as well, since it can.
Yes,
boost.
it will hopefully. I mean, it does have an antenna, so it might not really, but it might help.
But it's been pretty great, and it like just literally it syncs up to your phone like a normal Wi-Fi.
Yep.
And we'll put a link to the mobile satellite Wi-Fi solution in the comments or something here, and then it's also in our last video, and we'll keep putting it in our videos as well.
Yep.
The next questions were, how did we get the truck to Alaska? Which we haven't.
You can answer that.
Yeah.
We
haven't gotten the truck to Alaska yet. We were trying to go in February, and then Andrew broke his leg, so our plan is to try to head up to Alaska this coming spring. Like, do our plans. Like last year, our plan was to kind of travel and go to ski resorts, and then make our way through Canada and Alaska. So someone's other question was, when are we coming to Canada? So we'll be coming to Canada on our way to Alaska in the spring.
Yeah, early spring, Canada, if they let us in. You know, we're us some dirty Americans. I wouldn't let us in, bunch of savages.
Does Andrew have dyslexia like me and have a hard time with reading? He does, and I feel like I'm the one that kind of discovered that this is a thing that he has. He's always just been like frustrated with reading.
I don't read so good.
And he just got frustrated and wouldn't do it, and I like realized finally that it's like he's dyslexic, and it's not his fault that he can't read.
Yeah, I have a really hard time. Letters and words like move around, and I constantly mess things up. So if you ever see a post with some severe spelling and grammar errors,
because he didn't have me proofread it first.
Everything I write, I swear to God, everything I write has major words and letters flipped that shouldn't be, and I have to, and I can't see it. Like, I'll proofread it 5 times and I don't see it until it's posted, and Ashley goes, "You're an idiot. Why did you post this without me?" And
he has a hard time also on that note, that he has a hard time like with months and dates and stuff like that. Like, he can't keep them straight with which comes with like which order. And
I've never learned the calendar in a row. I still struggle with it.
So I think that's just part of it as well.
Yeah.
Someone just asked if we're planning on going to Baja. And
we're heading to Baja.
Yeah, we're heading to Baja now.
Yeah.
So that's
we'll be in Baja in less than a month, hopefully. Less than 30 days.
Better way to learn there is not still cutting FCP or Premiere.
I've edit on Final Cut Pro, which is an Apple program. I do also use Premiere for 360 stuff, but just YouTube. YouTube's the best way to learn. Search what you need to learn, and it takes 5 minutes or less usually, unless you're doing like motion graphics or something like that.
Someone asked, did we hire a filmer? This is our filmer.
Yeah,
That's
Liam. We hired Liam. He's awesome. We're like, he fits the mold. Like, I could not have dreamed of a better young man or woman to bring on. He's got it all. Great personality, super skilled, motivated, stoked, fun to be around.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, woo, we love Liam. He's awesome.
Stoked to be here.
Do we plan on making any public overland van life appearances?
I don't know really what that means.
I don't know. So we were
Um,
trying to be at the Overland Expo. We were
mhm.
supposed to have a spot at a booth there, but then obviously COVID canceled those. So we weren't able to go, but we'd like to go to them in the
Yeah.
future and show off the rig.
Also, if you ever see us on the road, wave us down. Come say hello. We're super friendly. If you want to
Yeah.
come take a tour of the rig, you just have to wear a mask.
Once
That's all we
COVID's
ask.
over, we want to start doing meetups again. So when we were in Denver this fall or last winter, we did a big meetup at like this public space where we could all have food and drinks and everything. So once COVID's over, we want to do those again. And we're working on trying to figure out some sort of like adventure meetup where we can take you guys camping, we can take you guys
Do some photography stuff.
canyoneering, do photography.
Let's ask the question. Would you be interested if we like hosted a trip where people come out for some sort of like adventure experience, learning experience where we teach you either like some rope skills as well as some photography? If so, leave a comment or a like or something.
Just shoot us a message.
Shoot us a message.
We got reached out to by a company called Trova Trip. They do a lot of like trips with Instagram influencers, but they were trying to set up something with Andrew possibly, so we were wondering if you'd be interested in that. Those would be kind of like extreme ones where you get to go to Patagonia or somewhere in the world and learn photography and adventure with Andrew, and he puts together a schedule that he likes. So if you'd be interested in that, let us know.
On a smaller, more attainable level, I feel like the big Patagonia thing's kind of expensive. If we could do something like the desert of like Moab, I don't know. I'd love to hear what people's interests are as far as like taking it like to Patagonia where I've never been, or if we go take you to Moab and I show you like 3 or 4 of my favorite spots and we go on like an epic adventure together.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sorry, we're finding questions here. I don't know if these have an hour cutoff, but we might only have about 5 minutes left.
What
so
are our
we're gonna try and
favorite
go through these quickly.
YouTubers?
Romeru is one of my probably my favorite YouTubers. They're this luxury travel couple that are like actually close friends of ours. I don't really follow too many YouTubers closely. I watch Casey Neistat. I've been watching Mr. Beast. So these are all like the big mega popular ones. But as far as like adventure travel couples, I would love to hear who your favorite YouTubers are, who creates your favorite content. We're trying to get better at what we do. I'm sort of just like living my like own little bubble and produce the content that I think is cool. But I realize that I, usually I'm like the filmer, talent, editor, director. So I kind of have this like personal tie to it, and I'm maybe not telling the story the best way possible. So if there's some YouTubers in the van life that you really love, we'd love to just check out their stuff and see if maybe we can adapt some of their format to make our content more enjoyable to watch.
The only things I ever watch are food videos, so that doesn't help us very much. Let's see. Do you only do Patreon, or if you need things like a generator, can people donate big items?
So we've done Patreon as a monthly subscription for people that enjoy our content, that find value in what we create, and for as a way for us to give back. We have different tiers where we offer different benefits and perks to our patrons. So we're not just asking for free money. We're working really hard to create what we create, and we're hoping to keep the wheels turning. We're also hoping to keep it as authentic as possible. We don't want to work with like a big brand or this or that can influence the way that we produce our content, that can influence our voice in a way that's unauthentic to us. So that's hopefully a way that we can work for our audience, work for you guys, stay true to our mission and goals, and not feel like we're compromising our integrity. So, but if we're open to ideas as far as if people are like psyched on supporting what we do and they find value in it, that's great. But we don't want to hand out. We want to give back to you as well.
Last questions I saw were like, what's our route plan for going down to Baja? Where are we planning on stopping? And then would we be interested in meeting up or possibly doing a caravan?
Yeah. Yes to all of those things. And our route is coastal. We're going to be taking the west coast of California for most of the way. I think the next couple days are going to have some larger driving days. We're probably going to stop in San Francisco the day after tomorrow. And then whatever south of that, probably Santa Barbara after that. And then like the San Diego area, after that, for a couple days, we're gonna post up, hopefully link up with our good friend Chuck Patterson and Trish. They're some good friends of mine. I'm not one that I've really found people that I like idolize or look up to, or like the YouTube thing. I just kind of like do my own thing. But Chuck Patterson is who I wish I could be. He's like the biggest, manliest man ever, and has just like the most like loving, boisterous,
He's like a teddy
positive
bear.
personality ever. So Chuck's kind of like one of my idols. The dude's a superhero, big wave surfer, and has like a smile the size of my head.
Yeah,
Dude,
and then our like
yeah.
ultimate goal down in Baja is I want to spend some time kiting. So we're gonna be in like La Ventana, Los Barriles, right? Are the places?
Yeah, that's sort of the deal. And then I want to spend most of my time surfing and getting Ashley kiting. So those are the plans.
So if you are cross paths with us, or know you're going to be down there as well, let us know, and we'd love to link up.
General timeline for Baja is we're planning on being in like SoCal by the 15th, so like 10 days from now, and then crossing the border sometime after the 20th.
Which is Kicker's birthday.
Which is Kicker's birthday. Yeah. So if you're interested in joining us, and I'm always down to meet up with people as long as they're willing to make the effort to meet up with us. As far as like, we're on this route, if you want to come intersect us and join us, you're welcome to, but I'm not gonna like divert like 5 hours out of my way to come say hello. That's kind of unreasonable. But if you ever see us, come approach us. We're super friendly. We'd love to chat. There's only been a handful of times where I'm just like dead beat, exhausted, like laying in bed and someone knocks on the door and I just like can't do it, but it's super, super rare. Like 99% of the time I'm psyched.
Yes. We only have like a little bit of time left. So thank you to everybody that's sending the YouTube recommendations to watch. We really appreciate that, and the recommendations for upcoming trips that we want to put together. We'll look through those. And then our shower has been working great. The downside is that it is an RV shower, so you still have to like turn it off, use it sparingly.
Yeah, you get wet, you turn it off, you get soapy, you rinse off, and you're done.
So it's not as enjoyable as a normal shower, but it works. And then we got the lens and the drone replaced. Thankfully, our insurance covered it, so we were able to get those. And yeah, we're really thankful to have it back. The best place to reach us, I'd love some help learning how to kite. The best place to reach us is either just like an Instagram message, or if you want to shoot us an email, you can send it to info@andrewmuseproductions.com. Yeah, I'd really love that. I'd appreciate it more than I can say.
It might not cut us off at an hour, but right now we've got like 15 seconds left. So if we lose you, we love you. Thank you so much. Please leave a like. I'm sure you're all subscribed. We do have these MUSEROAMER t-shirts available for sale on the link in the description. And, it let us go past an hour. Okay, but I'll finish that. So anyways, you can go to Bonfire. We've got Roamer shirts available till the 8th. So if you want one, you need to order it like right now. They're rad. It helps support us. And you also get a really cool t-shirt. They're super high quality.
Yeah.
And this month we
And they're not just t-shirts. We have long sleeves
and
kids
hoodies.
T-shirts and hoodies as well. Somebody said, how long do we plan on being down there? They'd love to take us kiting, or love to kite or take you guys sailing. I feel like our friend Don loves your channel. Didn't Don watch the sailing videos with us?
I don't know.
I think
Probably.
so. I think so. So
yeah.
Shout out to you guys. But we're gonna be down there until
January, probably.
January-ish.
And end of December is sort of our like
current plan, but then we may stay longer.
If it's amazing, and like I said, the winter season's kind of weird up here, we're gonna stay in Baja.
Let's see. Any planned trips to real cold places?
Alaska in the spring.
Yeah, so Alaska, that'll be the coldest place I've been for sure.
Love Alaska.
I'm excited to finally get up there.
All right, and let's see what
that
else.
was the last questions that we had, because we were trying to
steam away. You should be able to steam away beyond an hour. What's that mean? I should be able to drive an hour?
No, they're saying that the stream should go for longer than an hour.
Oh yeah,
we're
sweet.
used to
Okay,
Instagram
got it.
Lives where it cuts
I'm
you
not.
off, so.
I'm not super smart sometimes. Just saw your tiny home. Nice, thank you. Yeah, it's we're out here. We're doing it. We're psyched to meet people along the way. Like that's one of the best things about being on the road, is being open to like meeting cool people. We're always down to link up. Someone mentioned caravanning. If if you want to cruise down to Baja, hop, you know, that safer in numbers as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're like cool and down to like go with the flow and want to join us, that sounds great. We're always working, so it's not always us hanging out and barbecuing and like enjoying a campfire. I edit an ungodly amount of my week is spent editing, and that's why we kind of took this week just to do a live, so I could spend some time with Ashley, Kicker, Liam, and Brandon, and sort of explore. Yeah, what was that last one? We're gonna jump off here.
Someone said the record on Twitch is like over a couple thousand hours. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
What if we just like put a phone up in the corner of the roamer and you got to watch it all
Live stream.
live? Would you be into that?
It'd be entertaining.
There'd be lots of farts from Ashley.
Yes. Yeah. Part TV. Yeah, I think those are all the questions.
Cool.
Thank you guys so much for the love and support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here. Yeah, if you're interested, make sure, like you said, subscribe. Definitely hit the thumbs up. Share with your friends, the episodes and their channel and playlist that you like. Make sure you check out seasons 1 and 2. I think they're really special to sort of get the foundation as to like who we are and what we're doing. It's also fun to see how much we've progressed as far as filmmakers.
I mean, I'm in this season, so
You're in
it's
this-
way better than all the others.
It's way better. Are you kidding me? This is so good. We eat way better. We sleep way better. Life's good.
Yeah.
And Kicker's a little stud muffin.
I don't know where Kicker is. Kicker has to come say bye. I'll go get him.
Okay, go get Kicker. He's gonna
Kicker.
give everybody a wave goodbye.
Kicker, come here.
We wish you all the best. Sending our love to all of you. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any feedback for this kind of live, just let us know.
Come on, Pups.
If you're interested, and I'm gonna just grab him Kicker, guys. Hoy! Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. He does his little stretch.
Oh,
And then he
that's
goes,
nice. Oh. He's enjoying it.
If you want, you can follow me at Andrew__Muse on Instagram. You can follow Ashley at The Unexpected
Yes.
Adventurous. You can follow Kicker Dog at Kicker Dog Muse. You can follow
Josh, we miss you
Hey.
so much.
At Liam Pickart.
and Brandon.
Travel_nurse_life.
And our friend Josh Heiner just popped in. He's a legend. He's like the ultimate dude in the world. Josh Heiner.
He said, how much do you miss living at the shop?
I miss living at the shop because I miss seeing your grumpy face in the morning and waking you up with phone calls at 9 in the morning and you're like, what? And I'm like, hey, Josh. How you doing? The question is, Josh, how much do you miss me waking you up with all of my morning energy? I'll take that silence as a yes. But no, we love and miss you, Josh. You're amazing. Yeah, on that note, we are going to say goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Lots and lots of love. Kicker says, goodbye, everybody. I'm a dog. I'm gonna pick his nose. All right. How do I turn